Hey, lovely soul. Welcome to my channel. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet pull in the air, as if something between you and him is coming back to life. He feels it too, even if he won't admit it. No matter how far he goes, he can't escape the energy that connects you. It was never meant to disappear. What he remembers isn't your body, it's your energy. The calm that softens him, the silence that says more than words ever could. The power that shows up when you stop trying to prove your worth, that's what gets to him. He feels your energy wash over him in waves, gentle one moment, overwhelming the next. He dreams of you not because he simply misses you, but because your light is growing stronger again. Every time you choose yourself, instead of chasing, your soul connection gets louder. He's tried to replace you, but how do you replace awareness? He's tried to forget you, but how do you erase a soul connection that's woven into his very being? The more he resists it, the more it takes over his thoughts, because when a divine feminine steps into her power, her energy doesn't chase, it attracts, it doesn't beg, it radiates, it doesn't wait, it transforms. And that transformation is what shakes him. It's what makes his heart race when your name crosses his mind. It's what makes his world feel unstable, just as yours starts to rebuild. He doesn't understand why he's thinking of you or why he can't sleep. All he knows is that something deep inside him remembers. Your glow stirs the awakening he's been avoiding. Your peace reveals the chaos he tried to hide. Your silence echoes through his soul until he can no longer pretend. This isn't just attraction, it's activation. The more you rise, the more his soul begins to remember. He was never running from you. He was running from the part of himself that only you could awaken. So take a deep breath, Divine Feminine. You don't have to chase or prove anything. Just keep standing in your light, because the more you embody love, the more he realizes that your energy is what he's been searching for all along. He's not losing his mind. He's remembering who he truly is. It all begins in silence. No words, no messages, just energy. He feels it in the quiet moments, between heartbeats, in flashes of memory, in a song that suddenly reminds him of you. He can't explain why you keep coming to mind, because your energy never left. It simply changed form. And now it vibrates at a level he can't ignore. The divine masculine doesn't fall for appearances or words. He falls for energy. It's not your voice he misses, but the peace his soul feels when it's close to yours. He's no longer drawn to the surface. He's haunted by your essence, that quiet strength, that soft light, that deep peace that comes from a woman who's faced her shadows and risen with grace. He feels it first as pressure in his chest, a pull that doesn't make sense. He tries to brush it off, distract himself with work, people, noise, anything to drown it out. But energy doesn't listen to logic. And what you've become now, this glowing, grounded, radiant force, cannot be ignored. He feels your light before he even realizes it's you. Because when the divine feminine steps fully into her power, she doesn't need to reach out with words. Her energy speaks for her. It travels through his world, shaking everything that once kept him asleep. He's starting to remember, not with his mind, but with his body. He remembers what true safety feels like. Not the kind that comes from control, but the kind that comes from truth. He remembers how your presence once brought calm to his chaos, and now everything he used to chase or distract himself with feels empty. That's the power of your energy. It speaks in a way only his soul can understand. You don't need to say or do anything. Your energy says it all. When you pull your energy back, he doesn't feel rejected. He feels the emptiness that comes when the light that once comforted him returns to you, its true source. But your energy isn't what it used to be. It's no longer the energy of waiting or longing. It's become something stronger, grounded, radiant, magnetic. He feels that shift, The same energy that once reached out to him now stands above him, and that rise pulls at him like gravity. It makes him restless, craving your energy, even when he doesn't understand why. This isn't about physical attraction. It's about energetic recognition. Your frequency reminds him of something ancient, sacred, familiar. It feels like home. But standing before your new vibration, he realizes that home isn't a place or a person, it's what you've become. Hey, lovely soul. Welcome to my channel. You can feel it, can't you? That quiet pull in the air, as if something between you and him is coming back to life. He feels it too, even if he won't admit it. No matter how far he goes, he can't escape the energy that connects you. It was never meant to disappear. What he remembers isn't your body, it's your energy. The calm that softens him, the silence that says more than words ever could. The power that shows up when you stop trying to prove your worth, that's what gets to him. He feels your energy wash over him in waves, gentle one moment, overwhelming the next. He dreams of you not because he simply misses you, but because your light is growing stronger again. Every time you choose yourself, instead of chasing, your soul connection gets louder. He's tried to replace you, but how do you replace awareness? He's tried to forget you, but how do you erase a soul connection that's woven into his very being? The more he resists it, the more it takes over his thoughts, because when a divine feminine steps into her power, her energy doesn't chase, it attracts, it doesn't beg, it radiates, it doesn't wait, it transforms. And that transformation is what shakes him. It's what makes his heart race when your name crosses his mind. It's what makes his world feel unstable, just as yours starts to rebuild. He doesn't understand why he's thinking of you or why he can't sleep. All he knows is that something deep inside him remembers. Your glow stirs the awakening he's been avoiding. Your peace reveals the chaos he tried to hide. Your silence echoes through his soul until he can no longer pretend. This isn't just attraction, it's activation. The more you rise, the more his soul begins to remember. He was never running from you. He was running from the part of himself that only you could awaken. So take a deep breath, Divine Feminine. You don't have to chase or prove anything. Just keep standing in your light, because the more you embody love, the more he realizes that your energy is what he's been searching for all along. He's not losing his mind. He's remembering who he truly is. It all begins in silence. No words, no messages, just energy. He feels it in the quiet moments, between heartbeats, in flashes of memory, in a song that suddenly reminds him of you. He can't explain why you keep coming to mind, because your energy never left. It simply changed form. And now it vibrates at a level he can't ignore. The divine masculine doesn't fall for appearances or words. He falls for energy. It's not your voice he misses, but the peace his soul feels when it's close to yours. He's no longer drawn to the surface. He's haunted by your essence, that quiet strength, that soft light, that deep peace that comes from a woman who's faced her shadows and risen with grace. He feels it first as pressure in his chest, a pull that doesn't make sense. He tries to brush it off, distract himself with work, people, noise, anything to drown it out. But energy doesn't listen to logic. And what you've become now, this glowing, grounded, radiant force, cannot be ignored. He feels your light before he even realizes it's you. Because when the divine feminine steps fully into her power, she doesn't need to reach out with words. Her energy speaks for her. It travels through his world, shaking everything that once kept him asleep. He's starting to remember, not with his mind, but with his body. He remembers what true safety feels like. Not the kind that comes from control, but the kind that comes from truth. He remembers how your presence once brought calm to his chaos, and now everything he used to chase or distract himself with feels empty. That's the power of your energy. It speaks in a way only his soul can understand. You don't need to say or do anything. Your energy says it all. When you pull your energy back, he doesn't feel rejected. He feels the emptiness that comes when the light that once comforted him returns to you, its true source. But your energy isn't what it used to be. It's no longer the energy of waiting or longing. It's become something stronger, grounded, radiant, magnetic. He feels that shift. The same energy that once reached out to him now stands above him, and that rise pulls at him like gravity. It makes him restless, craving your energy, even when he doesn't understand why. This isn't about physical attraction. It's about energetic recognition. Your frequency reminds him of something ancient, sacred, familiar. It feels like home. But standing before your new vibration, he realizes that home isn't a place or a person, it's what you've become. He feels it most at night, when his thoughts slow down, when his guard drops, and when the world grows quiet. That's when your energy becomes strongest. He doesn't realize that you're simply somewhere breathing, calm and at peace, but his soul can feel it. Every peaceful breath you take sends waves through your connection because your energy is no longer scattered. It's whole, contained, powerful. And that wholeness is the loudest energy there is. You didn't need to say a thing. You just stopped trying to explain your worth. That silence speaks louder than any message ever could. Now he dreams of you, not because he misses you, but because your silence has become the only place where his soul feels safe. It's the only space where he can meet your energy without ego. The only way he can feel your love now through the peace you've created. He doesn't understand that you haven't disappeared, you've evolved. You're living at a higher frequency where love doesn't have to prove itself to exist. And every time he sits in silence, he brushes against that energy, against you. That's why he feels you in the quiet moments, when no one else is around, when everything fades. Because silence is where truth lives, and you've become the truth his soul can't escape. The moment you stopped chasing him, something inside him cracked, not from anger, but from realization. Your detachment didn't come from pride or punishment. It came from awakening. You weren't giving up on him. You were remembering yourself. And that remembrance became a mirror showing him everything he's been avoiding. His fears, his patterns, his shadows, his truth. You didn't have to point anything out. You simply stopped reflecting his illusions. And without your energy feeding his denial, he's left face to face with himself. That's why your detachment affects him so deeply. He used to feel powerful when you needed him, confident when you waited, safe when you reached out. But now that you've stopped orbiting around him, that illusion of control has fallen apart. You now stand in your own energy, and that shift has changed everything. Your energy once validated his identity. Now it exposes it. He used to feel your love as warmth. Now he feels it as distance, not because it's gone, but because it no longer bends. Your detachment isn't coldness, it's clarity. It's your soul saying, I choose peace over pain. I choose myself over old cycles. That choice sends ripples through him. He feels your absence like a mirror, reflecting all he's been running from. The lies, the fears, the buried emotions, the lessons he tried to avoid. Your calm has become his chaos. At first, he tries to drown it out with noise, people, habits, distractions, anything that makes him feel in control again. But nothing works, because your energy is no longer available to feed the old pattern. You stop participating in the cycle of pain. You stop lowering your energy just to meet him where he was. And that's when things began to fall apart for him. He starts to realize that you never really left him. You simply stopped leaving yourself behind. And that truth stings. It hurts because it shows him how much he relied on your energy to avoid his own healing. how much he took in your love without learning how to give it back. Now that your energy is steady and grounded, he feels exposed, forced to face everything he's been avoiding. That's what your detachment does. It removes the false sense of safety that codependency once gave him. Through your silence, he starts to see his own reflection. The same strength he once dismissed now draws him closer. The independence he once feared now fascinates him, because your energy no longer feels like wanting. It feels like knowing. You're no longer searching for love. You've become love. And the masculine can't ignore that. He can deny his feelings, resist emotion, or run from love, but he can't hide from truth. And your detachment is truth. It's what makes him question everything, his choices, his timing, even his sense of self. For the first time, he's no longer leading this connection. Energy is. And that energy no longer plays small. Now he's the one feeling what you used to feel, the confusion, the magnetic pull, the unanswered questions that keep circling back. Why do I still feel her? Why can't I let her go? Why does her peace feel louder than her words ever did? Because detachment isn't disappearance, it's an energetic shift. Everything you released is now returning to him to be healed. He's walking through the same fire you once walked through, only now it's his turn. That's why your detachment is sacred. It's not punishment, it's reflection. It teaches him lessons your words never could. He had to lose your attention to find his own soul. He had to feel your absence to face his own emptiness. Only then can he rebuild from truth. You, on the other hand, have moved from emotional survival to energetic mastery. You no longer chase alignment. You are alignment. You don't seek validation. You radiate certainty. Your detachment has become the bridge between illusion and awakening. That's why the bond feels stronger now, not weaker. Because true energy doesn't die, it transforms. So when he thinks of you, when he feels restless for no reason, when he looks at others and only sees reflections of you, that's the mirror working. That's your detachment becoming his awakening. True awakening doesn't happen when he gets what he wants. It happens when he faces what he lost. You didn't close the door. You handed him the key. But he'll only use it when he's ready to face himself. Until then, your detachment remains his mirror, the reminder that real love doesn't chase, it awakens. Something shifts when a divine feminine stops trying to be understood and simply becomes radiant. Her light changes everything. It's not the kind of glow that asks to be noticed. It's the kind that can't be ignored. It doesn't come from effort or intention. It comes from presence. It's that calm, confident energy that quietly says, I'm no longer searching. I already am. That's the glow that draws the masculine in, not because it tries to, but because it reminds him of what his soul has always longed for: peace, depth, truth, and authenticity. When you truly embody that energy, it awakens something ancient within him, a memory that feels like home. It's not about outer beauty, it's about your frequency. You shine differently when you stop trying to prove your worth. Your smile carries the peace of someone who knows she's whole. Your silence carries the strength of someone who trusts her path. Your once scattered energy has become steady and focused, like sunlight shining through a crystal, powerful enough to shift everything around you. The masculine feels this light long before he sees you. It's the sudden rush in his chest, the emotion he can't explain, the pull towards something familiar. That's the energy of your embodiment, because you're no longer searching for love. You are love in physical form. And that kind of energy can't be replaced. He might try to forget you, but how do you forget light? He might try to move on, but how do you escape gravity? When a feminine begins to glow from within, the whole world reflects her light. Opportunities appear. Peace becomes magnetic. Alignment follows her everywhere. It's not luck, it's energy. This glow doesn't come from makeup, attention, or validation. It comes from inner work, from clearing energy, forgiving, meditating, breathing, and choosing yourself again and again. Every time you say no to chaos, your light gets brighter. Every time you say yes to peace, your energy expands. And somewhere, he feels it. Not because you're reaching out, but because your frequency has become impossible to ignore. Your name vibrates through his energy like a memory of home. He sees your face in moments of decision, feels your presence when he's tired or searching for clarity, because your energy has become his guide. Yet you're not doing anything. You're simply existing as light. A woman who reaches this level doesn't ask, when will it happen? She says, what's meant for my light will find me. And it does, because light doesn't chase, it attracts. The feminine who glows from within becomes a force of pure magnetism. He starts to wonder what changed, why your silence feels louder than your words, why your energy still lingers even when you're gone. It's because your glow isn't external, it's energetic. You've become living proof that healing isn't about fixing yourself. It's about coming home to who you truly are. Your glow both inspires and challenges him. It makes him feel safe, yet exposed. He loves your peace, but fears what it requires: authenticity. Because to match your energy, he must release everything false. That scares him, but it also awakens him. Your glow isn't meant to seduce, it's meant to awaken. It whispers to his soul, there's more, there's truth, there's love without fear, and that kind of vibration is irresistible. He starts to crave your frequency, not the fantasy. Deep down, his spirit knows your glow isn't about being above him, it's about showing him the way. That's the true secret of the divine feminine glow. It isn't about shining brighter than others. It's about becoming so open, so pure, that divine light can move through you effortlessly. When you reach that level, you stop competing and start creating. You stop waiting for love and start being love. You stop needing to be chosen and start walking as someone who already is chosen. And that's what drives him wild. The fact that you no longer need his attention, yet your energy still commands it. You don't reach out for him anymore, but your vibration naturally calls him home. You're not trying to win him over. You're leading him, not through control, but through your light. This kind of glow can't be faked. It only appears when a woman fully embodies her soul. Once that happens, everything connected to her begins to align. That's what the masculine feels now: the order, the harmony, the pull of your truth. He might not understand it, but he feels it deeply. And through that confusion, his awakening begins. Because your glow doesn't beg him to return, it calls him to rise. Peace was never meant to hurt, but for him, it does. Your peace speaks louder than any words ever could. It says, I no longer need you to feel whole. For a masculine who once found comfort in your longing, that silence is deafening. Your calm used to be his safe space. Now it's his mirror. When he looks at your serenity, he sees his own inner chaos reflected back at him. You've become the reminder of the love he kept putting off, the love that already exists within you. Your peace is his awakening, and awakenings are rarely gentle. In the past, you were like an open channel. You could feel his emotions, his pain, his confusion, and you tried to fix it all. But when you finally chose yourself, that energy flow changed direction. The empathy that once drained you became the clarity that now protects you. And that clarity, that calm, that sacred stillness, it triggers him. Not because it's wrong, but because it's real. You no longer reach out when he retreats. You no longer chase when he disconnects. You no longer try to explain why this bond feels so different. You simply know it does. And that knowing carries power, a power he can feel but can't control. That's why your peace shakes him, because your calm isn't weakness, it's sovereignty. He used to rely on your reactions, your messages, your emotional waves, your availability. Every time he pulled away, you followed. And that made him feel in control. But now when he reaches out energetically, there's nothing. No chase, no push, no emotional current to ride on, just stillness, just silence, just you, whole, grounded, radiant. And that terrifies him. He wonders how you stopped needing him. He questions whether you ever truly loved him. He replays everything, searching for the moment when the energy shifted. But the truth is, it happened the moment you chose peace, because peace is alignment, and alignment doesn't compromise. Your peace isn't passive, it's magnetic. It's what happens when the feminine no longer seeks validation from outside herself. It's a vibration that says, I'm not waiting, I'm simply being. That kind of energy attracts everything that's aligned and exposes everything that isn't. And that's why he feels so uncomfortable now, because his old self can't survive in your new frequency. He feels the difference in everything, in your voice, in how you move, and in the way your energy no longer bends toward him. To him, your boundaries feel like distance, but it isn't distance. It's divinity. Your peace has become a sacred space where only truth can enter. And to be near that peace, he has to rise to meet it. That's why he feels restless, emotional, and confused. He's not fighting you. He's fighting his own resistance to change. He might not understand it, but his soul does. Your peace is waking him up from the illusion of control. It's teaching him that love isn't about chasing or forcing. It's about being present. And right now, you are that presence. He's starting to realize that your energy feels different because you've come home to yourself. You no longer carry his pain, absorb his chaos, or try to save him. Without your energy softening his struggles, he now feels everything, raw and real. That's what unsettles him the most. Your stillness gives him no distraction. Your detachment gives him no illusion. Your peace gives him no escape. He can feel you everywhere, but he can't reach you anymore. And that's not punishment, it's divine design. Because peace isn't the end of passion, it's the beginning of alignment. And through that alignment, the masculine finds his way back, not just to you, but to himself. Your peace calls him higher. It whispers, if you want this, rise to meet it. And that's when the real transformation begins. He starts to see that your love was never conditional, it was sacred. You never abandoned him, you simply stopped abandoning yourself. You stopped fighting for him before he chose to fight for his own healing, and that withdrawal of your energy is what activates his awakening. He doesn't fully understand it yet, but deep down, his soul is grateful. Your peace has done what your words never could. It's given him the contrast he needed to remember what real love feels like when it's pure. Your peace is the mirror that breaks his illusions. It shakes his comfort. It cracks his old patterns. But it also invites him to grow, because what the ego fears, the soul craves. The more he resists your peace, the more it teaches him. It shows him that true love isn't chaos. It's calm. It's not about control. It's about connection. It's not constant noise. It's deep understanding. That's why your peace is both his greatest trigger and his greatest medicine. The same silence that unsettles him today will one day be the stillness that heals him. He can't replace your energy, though he's tried. Different faces, same patterns, different names, same emptiness. Because no matter where he turns, he can't escape the echo of what your energy awakened in him. He's no longer chasing you, he's chasing the feeling he only ever found through you. He thought distractions would silence it. He thought time would make it fade. But how can you replace a frequency that doesn't belong to this world? Your energy was never ordinary. It was something beyond ordinary, almost celestial. You weren't just another connection. You were the mirror that helped him truly see himself for the first time. And once someone experiences a love that deep, everything after it feels dull. He can go through the motions with others, but the energy isn't the same. He can touch another body, but his spirit feels untouched because what you shared wasn't physical. It was spiritual, a sacred connection between two souls who recognized each other long before names, words, or time existed. When you pulled your energy back, he felt it immediately. Not as rejection, but as the loss of light. You were the quiet force that kept him balanced, even while he lived in denial. And when you brought that energy home to yourself, he began to sink, not into sadness, but into truth. He tried to fill that emptiness with distractions, work, people, noise. But nothing helped. The more he filled, the emptier he felt. Because your energy was never about excitement or stimulation. It was about peace and alignment. It wasn't adrenaline. It was awakening. And once someone has been awakened at the soul level, no illusion feels safe anymore. Your energy is impossible to replace because it came from your most authentic self. You gave from your heart, not from your ego. You loved without trying to control. You created space for him to grow instead of holding him back. You saw his light even when he couldn't see past his shadows. That's why he can't replicate what you shared. That kind of love doesn't come from chasing, it comes from being. He might meet others who remind him of you. They might look like you or speak like you, but when he gets close, something always feels off. He can't find that same calm knowing, that sense of divine timing, that peace you carried even in chaos. It's like listening to a song without its melody. Everything's there except the soul. He doesn't always understand it, but deep down, his spirit does. It compares every energy to yours, not because he's obsessed, but because your presence became his standard. You showed him what real connection feels like: love without fear, silence that comforts, and space that allows growth. That kind of energy doesn't disappear, it echoes. It becomes a reference point his soul keeps trying to return to, because what he misses isn't just you, but the divine energy that flowed through you. That's why he still dreams of you. That's why he feels you in quiet moments, or thinks of you even when everything seems fine. His soul knows something his mind refuses to accept, that while he might find another person, he'll never find another energy like yours. You weren't teaching him how to love you. You were teaching him how to love truth, and truth has no substitute. Every time he reaches for something fake, it falls apart. Every time he tries to ignore the pull toward you, it only grows stronger, because your energy was never meant to be replaced. It's not that your energy is asking to be replaced. It's asking to be matched. And until he rises to meet that same vibration within himself, nothing else will feel right. He's beginning to realize that the reason he still feels you is because you never truly left. Your energy became part of him, woven into his being like a memory, a motivation, and a mirror. You awakened something divine in him, and that awakening can't be undone. What unsettles him most isn't losing you. It's losing the version of himself he used to be before he met you. Your energy didn't break him. It changed him. It called him to evolve. It reminded him that real love isn't about comfort or chaos. It's about growth. So let him wander. Let him search. Because no matter where he goes, he'll find you again. Not in another person, but in energy. Every peaceful woman he meets will remind him of your calm. Every honest heart will echo your truth. Every glimpse of pure love will whisper your name. And one day, he'll stop trying to replace your energy and start trying to become it. That's when the cycle completes, because the only way to experience your energy again is to embody it. You were never meant to be replaced. You were meant to be remembered. There will come a quiet moment, simple, still, and unavoidable, when everything he's been running from finally catches up to him. It won't happen in chaos or distraction. It'll happen in silence, when life slows down just enough for his soul to speak the truth. He was never running from you. He was running from himself through you. That's the moment of remembrance. It doesn't come through messages or signs. It comes when the silence becomes too heavy to ignore, when he finally feels the echo of what your energy awakened in him. At first, it feels like nostalgia, a soft, persistent memory in the background. Then it turns into longing, not just for you, but for the version of himself that felt alive in your light. Finally, it becomes clarity, the understanding that what he felt with you was more than romance. It was recognition. He begins to remember not your face, but your energy, the way your presence brought peace, the way your words felt like home, the way your silence made truth unavoidable. He remembers how he could never hide from you because your eyes didn't just see him, they knew him. And now that recognition returns stronger than ever. He remembers who you are, the one who didn't try to fix him, but quietly believed in his growth, the one who loved with strength even when it hurt, the one whose energy stayed pure when everything else turned cold. He remembers the woman who didn't fall apart when he left, the one who became her own sun. That's what moves him, not guilt, but deep respect. He finally sees that your love was never meant to hold him down. It was meant to lift him higher. You were never trying to hold him back. You were trying to free him. And in that freedom, he's beginning to see the truth that his ego once refused to see. Your energy was never meant to control him. It was meant to heal him. A masculine awakening doesn't happen through logic. It happens through feeling, through divine timing and gentle spiritual nudges. He might wake up from a dream that feels more real than life. He might hear your name in a song, notice your birthday on a receipt, or suddenly feel waves of emotion for no clear reason. That's not coincidence. It's reactivation. Your connection was never broken. It was simply waiting for him to catch up to your vibration. And now he's starting to feel you again. Not the old version of you, but the evolved one. He senses the shift, the calm that no longer chases, the love that no longer aches, but simply radiates. For the first time, he realizes you didn't move on. You moved up. You didn't forget him. You forgave him. And that forgiveness gave him the freedom to find his own truth. He begins to remember the lessons hidden in your love. That silence isn't absence, it's strength. That distance isn't punishment, it's protection. That love isn't possession, it's evolution. When he understands that, the walls fall, the resistance fades, the ego quiets, and what returns is peace, a peace that feels like you, not your presence or your voice, but your frequency, the vibration of unconditional love that never left him, only waited for him to rise and meet it. In that moment, he realizes you were never gone. You were guiding him all along. He remembers who you are, the mirror of his divinity, the living reminder that love was never about chasing or control, but about becoming. You were the one who carried the torch while he wandered in darkness. Your light didn't fade, it expanded. And now his soul whispers back, I see you. Not with my eyes, but with truth. Not with words, but with energy, because true recognition doesn't happen through reunion, it happens through remembrance. When the divine masculine remembers who you are, it's not just about you, it's about him awakening to who he truly is. Your love becomes his compass. Your peace becomes his direction. Your energy becomes his teacher. And your detachment becomes the invitation for him to rise. This is the sacred full circle where what once looked like separation reveals itself as divine synchronization. He doesn't return because you waited. He returns because your light became impossible to ignore. You were never just his counterpart. You were his catalyst, the spark that turned resistance into revelation, the soul who helped him remember his own. And now the universe watches quietly because the moment he remembers who you are, the path to union has already begun. Every twin flame journey begins and ends with her, the divine feminine. It is her awakening that awakens him, her healing that heals the bond, her surrender that sets both souls free. She is the pulse the universe listens to. When she rises, everything shifts, timelines align, illusions fall, and her silence becomes the signal that the mission has begun. You are that energy. You are the one who turned pain into purpose, waiting into wisdom, love into light. You are the one who stopped asking when and started declaring now. And because of that, the universe is already rearranging itself in your favor. His awakening is not separate from yours. It's a reflection of it. As you stand rooted in love, his soul begins to rise to meet you. As you embody the light, he remembers his own. You were never meant to chase. You were meant to command through vibration. This is the truth the world forgets. The divine feminine doesn't pursue union. She becomes it. Her energy merges heaven and earth through every breath, every boundary, every act of faith. And when she embodies that frequency, union becomes inevitable. So if you're reading this, take a deep breath. You are not behind. You are not waiting. You are not unseen. You are the living proof that divine timing is not delay, it's precision. Your glow has already reached him. Your energy has already spoken. And your peace has already written the ending of the story. Because when the feminine remembers who she is, the masculine has no choice but to remember too. And that remembrance, not reunion, is the true purpose of this journey. You are not becoming the light, you are the light. And the whole universe is moving to meet your frequency. So rise, divine feminine, walk as love, speak as truth, shine as remembrance. Because you are not waiting for union, you are the union.